Call of Duty Black Ops is a 2010 first-person shooter game developed by Treyarch and published by Activision. It was released worldwide in November 2010 for Microsoft Windows, the PlayStation 3, Wii, and Xbox 360, with a separate version for Nintendo DS developed by Nspace. Usper later released the game for OS X in September 2012. It is the seventh title in the Call of Duty series and the sequel to Call of Duty: World at War. Let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops story. Call of Duty is a series consisting of a lot of franchise. Let's go to today's story. Black Ops is the seventh game of the Call of Duty series. It is based on the Cold War between 1961 to 1968 between Soviet Russia and America. It can be said that the reason why the game is so popular is its story, which goes beyond the game style, because it is confusing. The speaker of the game is Alex Mason. He works in the CIA. The story starts with us, the Mason, tied to a chair and someone asking us questions. There are some monitors around us. Some of their numbers are going and someone is addressing us in a strange voice. He asks us what these numbers are. This is a headache for Mason because Mason doesn't even know what this is. And Mason, who is like this, has created various memories, and the game starts with those memories. Mason remembers that the story begins with a mission in Cuba. The target is Fidel Castro. This goes with Mason, Woods, and Bowman. They go and kill Castro. But later it is known that it was not Fidel Castro who was killed but someone else who pretended to be. Later, while escaping from here, Mason is captured by Fidel Castro's army at the port. Later, he is handed over to a Russian commander named Dragovich and put in a prison in Great Russia. Here, Mason meets another important character in the game, Reznov, who tells Mason about how Reznov came here. We have to play this as a mission. Reznov was a fighter on the Russian side in World War II. In 1945, Reznov, Dragovich, Kravchenko went on a mission. The purpose of this is to capture the German scientist Steiner Friedrich, who made a poison gas called Nova 6 as a chemical weapon. But in the end, Dragovich and Kravchenko join Steiner after betraying the mission. Reznov gives a fight and escapes here, but he is captured by Dragovich's army outside and imprisoned. Now Reznov is waiting for revenge. He puts his ideas into Mason's head. Later, these prisoners manage to escape after fighting in the prison. We, the Masons, escape on a bike while Reznov escapes on a truck. Later the two separate. After this incident, Mason goes to America and joins the CIA. At the CIA, our leader is a man named Hudson. John Kennedy will be the president of America and Mason will be able to meet the president. He assigns us a CIA mission. That is to capture a leader of a Russian terrorist group named Dragovich. Yes, he is the same person that Reznov mentioned above. Woods and Hudson join this operation. Hudson is the leader. So their mission is to stop a missile launch in Russia and capture Dragovich. Even if they go here, they will not be able to capture Dragovich. He escapes from here, but they manage to stop the missile. After that, the CIA receives a tip that there is information about Dragovich somewhere in Vietnam. Mason, Woods, Bowman go to find this. At the last place, they find the spy who gave this tip. It is none other than Reznov. Reznov's tip is that Kravchenko is in Laos and that Dragovich has increased his military strength by using Nova 6 gas. Mason, Woods, Bowman go to Laos to capture Kravchenko. They give a big fight here and bring down a plane carrying Nova 6. But this group is captured by Kravchenko. Bowman is killed by Kravchenko in a jail cell. But Woods and Mason fight. They escape in a chopper and go to the office containing the intelligence information. During the journey, Mason meets Reznov near Kravchenko's office. But Kravchenko comes here. In the end, Woods goes to save Mason and stabs Kravchenko with a knife. Kravchenko pulls a grenade that explodes as both jump out of a window. Here comes Reznov again. Later, Mason and Reznov get together and find out from Kravchenko's files about the whereabouts of Steiner, the person who made Nova 6. That is Rebirth Island. While these events are happening, another story is going on. It is Mason's CIA leader, Hudson and Weaver, together and going on another mission. Its purpose is to get information from Dr. Clark, who worked on the Nova 6 project. But because Dragovich's army is jumping here, it is known that there is a headquarters related to Nova 6 gas somewhere in Russia and that they are working for a certain number code. Later, Hudson and Weaver, who go here, will learn about the whole Nova 6 project from there. He said that Dragovich is going to use Nova 6 gas to attack America and that he will detonate it with a number code given by Dragovich. And that Steiner, who made Nova 6, is in Rebirth Island. Hudson and Weaver also leave. Yes, it's the same place Mason and Reznov left. Let's get back to Mason and Reznov. These two kill the enemies here and finally capture Steiner. Then Reznov shoots and kills Steiner right in front of us, the Mason. Hudson and Weaver also come here at this time, but they see something different. Mason sees that Steiner was killed by Reznov, but Hudson and Weaver who go there see that it was Mason who killed him. That means his friend Reznov, who was alone with Mason, is an imaginary person created by Mason. The reason why Mason sees these imaginary characters is the place where Dragovich went to kill Fidel Castro and was brainwashed in the prison. Also, most of the people who wanted to kill Reznov were killed by Mason and only Dragovich was left. The real Reznov died when he jumped out of prison that day. All the work that Reznov seemed to do was done by Mason himself. Seeing this, Hudson beats Mason unconscious and takes him away because Mason is mentally ill, and Hudson suspects that Mason may know something related to the Nova 6 gas that Dragovich knows about. After that, Hudson ties Mason to a chair and questions him. While there, Hudson forces Mason to ask what the no code means. It is because of that effect that we see numbers everywhere. I said above that the whole game is based on Mason's memories. But in the end, Mason escapes from the chair that was tied to him. But Hudson attacks him and stops him. Later, Mason remembers a ship called Rusalka. It is Dragovich's ship. Later, the CIA tracks this ship and Mason and Hudson attack it, and finally Dragovich is killed by. The broadcast station of the Nova 6 gas was also this ship. These people are working to save America by sinking it.